grab a drink, because this is Hangover Time.
He win! He win! Woo! What an exciting matchup.
Sure.
You know what's funny? I was watching that opening thing that Brass did. It looks amazing. And there are just so many points where we're just like, everyone's jumping around, excited, fist pumping. And I just swear to God, man, like, I don't know what's going on this year, but like, it just feels so muted, right? Like, Bam Adebayo just dropped 38. Like, He looked amazing. And we're just like, it just feels ho-hum. I don't know what's going on, man. Like, it just feels like, okay, you beat the Pacers. Whoop de fucking do. Like, they've lost like 10 straight on the road. Like, it just, I don't know what's going on, man. Like, I'm having fun trying to enjoy the season. I'm out here fist pumping on my couch. And then I get on Twitter and it's like, fuck Kyle Lowry. And I'm like, Kyle Lowry didn't even play. Like, what are we so upset about? Like, everyone's just fucking angry. I feel like everyone should just take a chill pill. Like, calm down. Like, who needs a trade deadline? We got Orlando Robinson back.
Yes, sir.
Who needs trades? We're getting Yurt back.
Facts.
Who needs trades? Duncan Robinson's finger is about to be healed by the grace of God. Who needs a 15th roster spot? We have Jamare Bouye, whatever that motherfucker's name is.
He balled in already, so
why is
he didn't even play
all the time? We won. The Heat are 6th place, safely out of the play-in, unless the Knicks get hot, and they just traded for Josh Hart. So I honestly I don't even know what that does for the Knicks. But, I didn't think the Knicks needed more guards, but whatever. Like I have no idea. I have no idea. Like I just feel like, guys, is it me? Bring me out, Brass. I want to see everybody else. Like, is it me or do the wins feel muted? Like, does it feel like? Nah.
You know my answer to that, so just ask the rest of them. I'm having a great time.
Is becoming a superstar in front of our very eyes.
Yeah,
like,
that's fine.
Is he a max player?
Any time in the past, if he has a game like that where he scores like this, we are going fucking nuts. But is this what, like the 10th time or something this season that he scored over 30 points?
I'm used to it. I expect it.
I'm used to it,
but
this isn't. He's had this.
Awesome.
He just needed the space. This has been here.
And
he just needed permission or whatever the fuck to do it.
He has like a lot more 30-point games this season than even Jimmy Butler, right?
Yeah.
I'd assume so.
Easy.
Yeah, I believe. I mean,
yeah, I know.
I think you like doubled him up. Like, my man is out here killing shit, and I just feel like
smooth.
Feel like everybody's like ho hum. Who cares? There's no trades. Like, people are just like, I don't know. I feel like you got to divorce the two things, right? But it's hard. I understand Heat fans. It's really hard. Like, and you know what? I will say this: you watch Bam Adebayo tonight, guys, and know what I think. Fuck the future. Fuck the first round picks. Fuck everything. Do whatever you have to do to get my man some help right now. I am Alphonse Sidney, a.k.a. Alf954. Welcome into the Miami Heat Beat post-game show, Hangover Time. If you're watching live on Twitch, that's twitch.tv/Miami Heat Beat. We love you. Thank you. You are the OG Hangover Time fans. You are the shit. Send us your subscriptions, your bits, and all that shit. Brass will call them out. I'm drinking, whatever. Somebody yell drip drop. I'll take a big swig. Whatever you want to do. If you're watching live on the 5 Reasons YouTube page, we love you as well. Thank you so much. But we are going to announce later that during this playoff stretch, we're going to be going to 2 hangover times a week, okay?
And are you going to announce it later or now?
Oh, I'm doing it right now.
You just did it.
I just did it.
No
2 hangover times a week. One's going to be broadcast, simulcast on both YouTube and Twitch. The second one is going to only be on twitch.tv/Miami Heat Beat. So if you are not following Miami Heat Beat on Twitch, you are going to be missing out on some really good hangover time. We bring it during the playoff stretch, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Like, we are, after the trade deadline and there's no more nonsense to talk about, and, we get a big Orlando Robinson standard contract, we're going to go in for the rest of the goddamn season. So thank you very much. If you're watching the replay on either the Miami Heat Beat YouTube page or the 5 Reasons YouTube page, we love you. And if you are listening tomorrow morning on the podcast in your car, on your way to work, at your desk, we love you the most because that's where we make all of our money. So if you'd like us, just listen to the podcast anyway. Even if you're watching right now, just put that shit on mute and just play it in the back and hit 5 stars on that bitch. Go ahead, Brass. I want to find out what everyone's drinking tonight and toast that shit to your player of the game. Someone asked, is Drunk Alf going to be back? Drunk Alf ain't never went nowhere, okay?
True.
You just only get it once a week. He out here at his
Sober
house.
Alf been locked up since like 96. We don't know another Alf. It's Drunk Alf only.
Sober Alf died a long time ago. Siobhan,
Hello.
how are you doing tonight?
I'm pretty great. How are you?
I'm gonna snitch on you. Bond was taking swigs out of a wine bottle coming into pregame, all camera. All right, so
I mean, that's
what
fine.
was that?
Go ahead. Ask me what's the question? What am I
What was
drinking?
that wine bottle? Why don't you have clean glasses? And who was your player of the game?
Okay, so my player of the game. This is from the Frosted Vineyard. Little accent there in the second and third, but it's fine. 1 point guard to another. It's all the same, right? But yeah, this is some Kendall Jackson. Haven't had any. I feel like this is my first bottle of Kendall on the show this season. So, hello, old friend. Yeah, my player of the game is Frosted, right? Completely absent, like I said, quarters 2 and 3. Gave them a good spark though, and did some good stuff for them down the stretch. And did I answer all your questions? Was that it?
I think that was it. I just want to know what you were swigging.
Yep.
You were swinging like a wino out of a trash can on fire. Like you were just singing doo-wop songs.
Well,
like somebody who just got traded
to his apartment.
No, you didn't say she was doing doo-wop songs over a fire in a trash
There
can.
are 2 kinds of love.
Y'all ain't
with a Lucy.
Alf.
With a Lucy.
You can't hang with old Eddie Kane.
There are 2 kinds of love.
Kitty, I knew you would like that one.
I do got a glass though.
We need a frosted emote. Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Tiff,
Yes.
what are you drinking? You need to stop lying to the people because you probably got water. And
When last time I lied to the people? This is a damn Nalgene bottle. You got water in here. So this what I'm gonna do, cause it looks like we already made our big acquisitions. So that's what I'm best to the people. I ain't drinking no more until Max ass stay out of foul trouble and have a good game. So I might be sober for the season, bitches.
Oh, man.
so you're watching them on the Celtics next year.
And guess what?
Ho ho.
Ho ho.
Brass. What are you drinking tonight, and who is your player of the game?
I was like scrambling, getting some imaging done and all that shit. So I was like, I didn't have time to make a formal cocktail. I have more time to do that when we do more shows coming up. I promise. My cocktail game's been off lately. However, my player of the game tonight. So I'm drinking a Diplomatico rum on the rocks. In my cool Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with a pick going in. That's kind of a cool thing. And my player of the game, I'm gonna go for the final time, Dwayne Dedmon. Because as Welsh God says, undefeated without Deadmon, but I'll cease and desist on that one. I agree. We are undefeated with him off the squad. Listen, I was looking back, I was watching, I felt a little kind of emotional actually after he was gone, and I saw Jeremy Taché posted from his pod where Deadmon was talking about the mechanic and that nickname, and it was such a like a moment in time, and I'm like, shit, he went. I with all the shit talking that we've done about Dwayne Dedmon this season, and with us more so because of the lawyer situation.
Right.
But let's not forget what that dude gave us when he came to this team. That dude was an unbelievable backup big who gave us a lot of good minutes. And he does seem like a really good dude, except for when he throws, guns and shit, Theraguns. That's not great. But
Oh shit!
sorry, one last one. But I can't say I'm gonna miss him maybe as a person, but not on the team. So salute to you. Thanks for the win.
I love it. That was a heartfelt shout out to Dwayne Dedmon. We love you, Dwayne. Fuck your lawyers. Kenny,
Correct.
who is your player of the game, and what are you drinking? And let it not be some dusty ass Tito's or some Jose Cuervo you found in your stock.
No. Hear me out. I'm drinking lemonade again because Texas is one of those states that lets religion get in the way, and finding liquor store is a hassle. And it's cold, so fuck that shit. I'm sober tonight until I smoke this joint. I shouldn't have said that on Twitch, but whatever.
Oh shit!
My player of the game, Bam Adebayo.
Well, maybe you'll catch us on YouTube twice a week now. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. Fuck,
my player of the game is Bam
damn it.
Adebayo.
Right.
I don't know what I was talking about as far as like the feeling dull and shit. Because honestly, everybody knows me by now. I don't give a fuck about trades. I'm here to watch disrespect. And Bam Adebayo was disrespecting Miles Turner all night, looking him dead in his eyes and giving him them buckets. So I'm feeling ecstatic about that. Miles Turner got chosen on an Olympic team. Why? He's not entertaining. Who cares? My player of the game is Bam Adebayo.
All right. Perfect.
You know what? Like, I want to get more into Bam. Like, Bam was amazing tonight. Like, we got to give that man his flowers. They won this game tonight by 5 points. They scored 116 points. But once again, Bond, I thought I was reading this wrong. Like, I thought I was reading the wrong thing. 6 3-pointers made tonight. In the year of our Lord 2023. There's a Bill Russell Celtics team that only scored 6. Like, what is happening? And I think they hit 4 in the first quarter.
How many did we take?
19.
Okay. Oh.
In the year of our Lord,
Yeah, see,
2023.
What's the correlation, Kenny? What is see?
Yeah, y'all bullshitting. Like, there's a lot of complaints about this Heat team, but you drop these motherfuckers off in 1963. Hey,
But it would work. You know what?
And then they winning games and getting shot with fire hoses. So like, what y'all want?
Right.
I said it.
Yeah.
I said it on Black History Month. I said it.
Right.
You know what?
Yeah.
Bill Russell had the documentary come out. RIP Bill Russell and his bravery, because I'm not blocking nobody's shot in the 60s. Fuck that shit. I'm good. Could you, when you block somebody's shit and you slip up, like, get that shit out of here? Hell no. I'm not going for that shit. So shout out to him and his bravery. Bond, whatever the question was, you can answer it. I don't remember it either.
Bond, what is going on with this damn 3-point shooting? Like, what? Like, how many other teams are you beating tonight hitting 6 3-pointers?
I can't even tell you it's a train going by, so I don't even want to hear it. Oh, yeah, I think it stopped. All right, good. So, I don't know, man. It's crazy, and like their good looks, it's so weird. That's why I still don't like. I don't buy into it lasting the entirety of whatever this playoff run looks like or whatever. Like their good looks. I'm watching some replays now. Like some of them could be like a little bit better, more on target with the passes, but like we're missing some shot pockets. We're overpassing on some stuff, but like I don't know, dude. They're good looks, and I genuinely don't know that I've seen it before. But I still am not too worried about it. Yes, we need Duncan. Huh? I mean, like Duncan could have got some burn. Like you're not telling me that there's not been, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 minutes that you couldn't scoop together to give to damn Duncan Robinson. The train is the low-key coolest part of the show. Like I know y'all tune in every night waiting for the train. I understand. That's the Gabe Express. Like that's the Frosted Coated Express. Hop aboard. But no, Alf, I genuinely don't know. I don't know who you're beating. I don't know who else is shooting that poorly. I don't know what the fuck we're gonna do about it, other than like hope and pray that they go in, because we don't have too much else. Bam's gonna do what he's been doing. Jimmy's still muscling his way to the basket. Tyler could have I feel like could have been more aggressive today. He has all of the tools to do the things, and like we need him to do the things. So I don't know. People gotta make shots. They're good looks.
Tyler was missing so many floaters tonight. It was weird because he's like on floaters. He's one of the most efficient players in the NBA, Tiff. And tonight,
the ones he was taking tonight, they were off balance, but they're the type of off balances that are going to be available to him. Yeah. He has to take. Only he can really get to those particular spots. He got to.
He still looks a step slow too. Like he doesn't.
He ain't right yet.
No, he doesn't have that little burst that he has. He has like that little burst and then that hitch, and then he gets to his spot. He doesn't have it. So there's definitely something going on there. Listen, whatever it is, he's gutting it out because.
And he's out there and he's shooting. He shot 14,
that's all we got.
He shot 14 times tonight, second most after Bam. And honestly, to me, there's too many guys out here. We talk about Kyle who just don't put up shots. When they need somebody to put up shots, and Tyler's out here doing it, whether he's healthy or not, like you just have to make the defense respect you, right? And the defense is respecting Tyler. So I'm not going to get on Tyler about it, but I just want to point out that he's missing a lot of shots that Tyler normally makes. Like there's so many automatic buckets I'm watching Tyler miss, and it makes me think that man ain't healthy, and the All-Star break can't come soon enough for this man.
But that's the. But that's the ongoing soap opera with him, trying to keep him healthy. Yeah. Because that's like so if what moves that are made or if anything happens, if he not healthy, they ain't going nowhere. Like that's literally what it is. I'm gonna
put you on the spot, Tiff, because this is your man's.
Okay.
And people are talking about him in the chat right now. What the fuck is going on with Max? Like I feel like if Max
so
yeah.
It's like, oh, you're breaking up.
Like, realistically, his last couple of weeks, he's actually played well. This is the first night you've ever seen Max in, like, serious foul trouble. Like, well, and 3 of those came against Turner because, you know why? He was guarding Miles Turner on the block, which should never be happening. But this is where we are. Right. Max took 2 shots. He was 1 for 2. I don't know what we're talking about. Like, if you actually look at the numbers, I think the bench only got a total of 6 shots.
Wait, you talking about numbers, Tiff?
Yeah. I was just thinking it. I ain't even I'll say this you.
That's a long time ago. Long time ago. No, get it. Listen.
I got a question for you, Tiff.
Go ahead.
Do you think the trade rumors are affecting Max? Because it ain't just tonight. Max has not been good this year.
Somebody in the chat said I threw my whole narrative out the window for Max.
You know what?
I did.
I'm gonna defend
this. You admit it.
I'm gonna be honest about. Everybody who likes sports only cares about numbers when it fits our agenda. Let's just be quite frank about that. I'm a defensive. Come on. So
I
anyway,
every stat
speak for yourself.
Talking about.
No, I don't think it. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think it is. Like I said, the last couple of weeks, if you actually go to the numbers, he's actually played well. Tonight was just like a real bad night. Like you can't get 3 quick fouls and think you're gonna be productive in the game. Like that's just not how it's gonna work. Like he just kind of like sold out on the fouls. He only got 2 shots. What's left?
Yeah.
Like that's literally it.
I do want to talk about Max more. That was
the bench took 9 shots.
There you go. So that's not all. And listen. If you look at the shot distribution in the first half, the starters didn't move the ball as well as they usually do.
Yeah.
Bench players are waiting for the starters to set them up. That's how it works.
Yeah.
All All right, we're gonna get back. We're gonna talk more about Max because because we're gonna have to talk trades, y'all. Kenny, I'm sorry. I don't know if you want to log out for that segment, but we're gonna have to talk about trades because it's about 22 hours before the trade deadline. But Brass, I'll just let you go. Like tonight, they beat a Pacers team that has not been good lately. They only beat them by 5, and they either lose by 5 or win by 5. This is how they fucking roll. Like
it's on the high end of our average, I will say.
It is. It usually in 3,
usually
4,
1 or
5.
2.
Like they don't go beyond 5. They don't go lower than 3. This is how they do.
Keeps players humble.
What do you take away from tonight's win?
That's what I take away from the fight. I mean, how many times are we going to see this same fucking game? I'm just exhausted from it. This is not that enjoyable. I understand, you open the show and you're talking about we're having fun. It's like, well, to me, yeah, I guess
are we?
It's having fun. Only when compared to other people wanting to jump off bridges for this fucking team this year. I feel like everyone's not everyone. I don't want anyone to get upset here, but I feel like a lot of takes are based around the just wanting to sort of be just an opposing viewpoint on others and stuff like that. So a lot of people don't really feel. People don't even know what their actual emotions of the team are anymore. But to me, this season, a win is a win, and we need wins. We need wins against bad teams because usually we lose to the bad teams and beat the good teams. And according to what people say online, we only beat the good teams because they're missing their star players. But whatever the fact is, how many games are we about? 6 games over 500 or so?
Over 500.
Hovering around there. Listen, we're still ahead of the Knicks, and that's I'm cool with that. Important. I was nervous about losing tonight and then falling behind the Knicks. That's when I start to feel it. I can't take being behind the fucking Knicks. That's when I lose my shit. Okay? I'm not fucking no. So they're cool with me right now. They still need to do something.
They fall behind the Knicks, you're done with these.
I'm fucking done. This team, listen, fucking do something. Do something though. Do something. Because you got fucking. I understand. Dedmon's gone, but you still had to trade away a second. It's not great asset management there.
It's not
fucking
ideal.
Do something.
No.
Fucking something.
Can we talk about that? Because listen, I am. People call me Mr. Positivity, blah, blah, blah. I'm too positive. I always have excuses for the front office. Blah, blah. I know, it's funny.
I'm sorry.
That's what they call me online. I'm Mr. Positivity. I'm too positive. I'm always defending the front office. That's what they say about me, which I think is funny.
Wild.
Which is crazy because, I remember the year after they went the bubble, I was on here every night. You brought me Avery Bradley and Mo Harkless. Get the fuck out my face. But okay, I'm the defender of the front office. But
people were calling us negative that year.
Oh yeah, listen, we were the negative dudes that year.
Don't get fooled.
Don't get fooled comes from us being listen, and we're borderline there this year. But expectation.
Yeah,
but. For you to sell me, we re-signed Dwayne Dedmon. Despite his second half of last regular season, he was fucking awful. The playoffs. And Kenny, you're gonna answer this question. I don't even know if the question is gonna be a statement. I'm gonna leave you hanging. He was terrible at the end of the last regular season. He was terrible in the playoffs. You signed him in the offseason, and what was sold to me. I'm just a fan at home with my Hangover Time sign above me. Thank you, Siobhan. You sold to me this is a tradable contract. You had this as a contract feeling like you need this contract to make certain trades work, and I believed you. Because I'm trying to give motherfuckers the benefit of the doubt. And then for you to take that contract and have to use a second-round pick to trade it to get cash considerations to open up a roster spot when you already have an open roster spot. You also brought back Udonis Haslem, which is another wasted roster spot.
I thought that's just why you was talking about.
You have 5 roster spots open. You traded this man, gave away a second-round pick to open up a roster spot, and then when I and others on the timeline are like, listen, it's not a big mistake, but that is a mistake. That is a misstep. That is poor asset management. People are shouting me down like, oh, why are you being so negative? Like, what? Like, let's call a spade here, Kenny. Like, that was fucking bad. Like, it is a bad move.
Yeah, it was basically Mickey Harrison just doing the hood nigga thing, like and selling his PlayStation when times got hard. It was kind of just and he really, like, hindsight is 2020, right? So at the time it was like, okay, well, it's a tradable contract, but maybe don't re-sign somebody to trade them when they're already injured. Like, if you remember last season, he had the back thing, and it hasn't worked out, and he just kind of cut his losses. So now you have 1 second-round pick, and people are talking to us about getting Russell Westbrook on a buyout. I don't know why you would want that, but I don't think that he'd have too many options right now. So, hey, tomorrow's going to be a hell of a day online. I'm going to be at work busy, so good luck to y'all with that.
You're not.
But
all I'm saying is I hope Elon got all those fucking the fucking Twitter bugs out today, because like that shit, what happened to Twitter today cannot under any circumstance happen tomorrow.
Oh please, God, no.
It just shut the whole fucking app down forever if that happens on the day of the trade. No,
or maybe it should happen.
Or maybe it should, because some people don't know how to act.
Listen.
Most of y'all don't know.
I love when the trades happen and like we had no business being in them. People get mad anyway. That's
exactly.
What nobody in the Heat front office signing Kyrie to an extension. So calm the fuck down. Like it wasn't happening. Like they were giving up anything to rent a motherfucker with like diminutive point guards is not their problem. Now scoring is their problem, but like,
correct.
Kyrie, yeah, as an idea is a really good move, but if you're not going to sign him to an extension, that shit was never going to happen. Like, listen, I see motherfuckers getting mad about Josh Hart. We could have had Josh Hart. And I love Josh Hart. Like, I like Josh Hart.
When that happened, I wasn't looking.
Yeah, what's homeboy's name with Philly? Korkmaz? What's his name?
Oh, yeah.
Nobody who got
he asked. No, he trade.
Oh yeah, he's not even getting playing time and he wants out.
Asking for a trade.
I love
and somebody yesterday said, "Oh, Riley sleep again. We could have had Forkmoss to do what?"
Could you imagine you were the GM of the Philadelphia 76ers? Like you got Embiid to worry about, Harden, and then a motherfucker named Forkmaz comes to you. I demand a trade. Like, bitch, I didn't even know you were still here. Like
you know, sit your ass back in that goddamn locker and think about the bullshit you done just said to me. I done got all
Look at
this
him
shit.
like, don't you come out the locker room last?
They're just gonna fucking let him go. We fixed the glitch.
Right.
Like they've been, yeah.
Yo,
he's gonna leave He's gonna leave Philly with his red stapler.
Oh, you want to be traded?
Up there. He just
don't you work in the laundry room?
That motherfucker take an Uber to work. Come on now.
He the one ironing on your name on the back of the jersey
every night. Oh, Forkmaz still here? Shit. What number is he again? Oh,
that jersey don't got no name on it like the JV team.
Hey, yo, 4K, lock up when you finish, man. Clean up when you're done.
Leave the keys on the table.
But how bad does it have to get for you to ask out? I mean, why can't you just sit back? I mean, our Philly, so clearly he doesn't, a player on the Sixers does not think that team is doing shit this season. Because he could sit back and potentially, and what?
So
Jimmy
apparently
whispered Kyle isn't going anywhere on the podium?
Kyle isn't going anywhere while he was on the podium. I hope
why he whispered? I need context.
Why you right? Like
I don't know. I hope he's trolling. It's not even that I want to get rid of Kyle. I don't think you can get OG without Kyle, and we'll get to that in a second. Honestly, let's just get to that shit now.
Because I got some
damn situation.
Yeah.
We're talking trades.
We got to keep talking about Forkmaz.
Yeah.
Wait. Before we do trades, let's do the guy of the night because I enjoyed this one.
I forgot there was a game.
Okay, so this was the guy of the game. I just enjoyed this. I don't know, one of you dudes, Naismith or someone. Look at my boy Highsmith. Look, I just wanted to play this because I'm giving props to none other than Haywood Highsmith.
Why are we doing Gaga? He has his own fucking imaging, man.
Oh, my bad.
What are we doing?
But,
All right.
Yes,
My
Hamish.
That's good.
My
Well, we've
bad.
seen the clip. We get it. The clip is
yeah,
fine.
we don't have to see it.
I just
was excited. I was excited.
I just wanted to
that
play
I
that
was
for, you know, a
excited
second
about
time.
Hamish play. Honestly, he was like a -10 tonight, and we are talking about it in the chat. I loved everything he did tonight. Like, I loved his minutes tonight. He played 25 minutes. That's about 15 minutes too many. But I loved the minutes that he played. All right, so Brass, let's do it. We don't like doing it. It is not our thing, but it's time to talk about trades. God damn, that was dramatic.
I know. End the world's coming if we don't make a trade, man.
Oh my gosh, it was so dramatic, Alf. What in the Armageddon?
I mean, now I'm afraid to even talk about it.
And then like the extra last splatter of blood at the end, like
Damn, The Last of Us. Fuck.
fucking rock concert.
Okay, so I just want to go around the table. Like, we know what's possible, what's not possible. Like, don't give me Kevin Durant, right? Let's not do that shit. Let's talk about reasonable, rational trade ideas. What do you want to see, Von? Like, everybody on the timeline that follows me on Twitter knows what I want to see. I want to see OG Anunoby in a Heat uniform. If it costs 3 fucking first-round picks, give them 3 first-round picks. Because it's not a win now move to me. It is setting yourself up for the future with Bam Adebayo, OG. You have a window right now with Jimmy Butler. When Jimmy Butler retires, you find another superstar. You pair him with those two. You are a contender for years if you bring in a guy like him. He is the perfect front court partner next to Bam, and that's all I will say about that. Go ahead, Bond. What are the moves that you like to see? Like a guy like Jared Vanderbilt's gone already now.
So it was so. I don't know how it would have worked or if there were any talks about it at all. I genuinely would have liked to see someone like a Dorian Finney-Smith in Miami. Shout out to my guy. Shout out to the 757. I think I'm with you on OG, right? Like, this segment was produced courtesy of Michael Bay. You're goddamn right. Like, it is Transformers in my left ear still. No, I'd like to see OG, and for the reasons you mentioned, Alf. Like, he helps you compete now, but it's a gorgeous setup for going forward, right? You have Bam, maybe you keep Tyler, Jimmy, whatever happens, but like you have a good base upon which to build. That argument, he would have cost way more, but someone like that is the argument that I was applying to like a Jaylen Brown. That's not possible. I don't think that's something even talked about. But just like that mentality of if you're not going to win immediately, then at least get someone who is worth like holding around, someone that you can actually build, that you can hone. So I'm in on the OG. I genuinely want to see what New Orleans is going to do. They have an ass of forwards. And I would like a couple of them over there, depending on what was happening with them. I don't check and see what's up with Larry Nance. Just tap on that door. I don't know. I'm here at either OG or like, I guess nothing. I think punting on the season is a mistake, honestly. But I don't know what else you can do. If I might have another answer after we finish the round, but I'm pretty squarely on OG. I don't know if you can get Harry B. I don't. I'm gonna just go with OG.
They trying to win.
OG's off the board.
They trying to, yeah.
What moves are you looking at? Like, okay, this is realistic. This is something that he can do.
Who else?
If OG is literally off the board, the realistic idea, there is nothing. And don't be talking about no damn. They're like realistically, like Bojan, like Detroit is not trying to move people, or so they say. Yeah. So there is nothing. There's nothing realistic that is going to catapult you squarely into second round and after. Like, there isn't. Yeah. So, and I'm not here for a move's sake, because I think you're wasting assets, and I think that's stupid. So we're going to circle back, and we're going to call them again about OG.
If you're gonna do a moves for move's sake, make it a good one. Like OG again would be for now. And
but that's exactly that's a now and a future asset. Yeah. Like that's a guy who can squarely fit in with Tyler and Bam and Jimmy right now. And then as Jimmy rides off into the sunset,
you phase that out, right?
You still have your core three that you could build around. I don't care about picks, because those picks are like sperm right now. So I don't care about none of that. Shit. Like that's.
I don't care about picks when what you're doing is solidifying your future.
Right.
Like if you're giving a picks for a 38-year-old, that's one thing. You're giving a pick for a mid-20s. A guy who can still improve. If you believe in your development system, you can turn an OG Anunoby into a Jimmy Butler, or at least a facsimile of at some point.
So,
go ahead.
Let me just say something. Because I keep seeing people talking about Kelly Olynyk. I love Kelly. But, like, I'm not walking in there talking about you can have any picks for Kelly. I'm not even talking about you can have my cousin for Kelly. Like, I don't see what Kelly gets you right now. He does, like, we watched Kelly get played off the floor. Like, he's not going to be in there in crunch time. So then you're still going to be in the predicament that you're in now.
That's a it's a short-term move, and it puts Caleb back into where he should be. But I don't give up any assets for that.
No.
But before we go any further in our trade talk, we need to go live to the arena, live on site. To a segment we like to call Live on the Floor. Hey, there he is.
Hey.
What's up?
The man, the one man the Heat can't get rid of. Besides,
no, they can't. I am like fungus. And here's the thing. That's my old phrase. This shows you how they can't get rid of me. The reason I'm so late getting out here is because Norris Cole's here tonight, who, as you guys know, works with us a little bit these days. And he was spending some time with Spo, and then he and UD are reminiscing for 15 minutes about the Big Three era, and I didn't want to leave, honestly.
That's awesome.
Those were good times. So I'm trying to convince UD to join the 5 Reasons Sports Network with a podcast. So if that happens, I'll let you guys know. But
all right,
please do.
That was fun, and a lot more fun than what we've looked at this season for sure. So.
Ethan, it's after a win. Why are you sounding all down?
I mean, look, it was after a win that they almost coughed up at the end of the game. Is this 1983, by the way? Like 116 points with 6 made threes?
We talked about that.
I don't know how. I mean, Jimmy says they're going to out-2 everybody if they have to. You can't win like that. Like, you can't beat good teams like that in the modern era. I respect the mid range, the stuff that they're doing, and the free throws. Almost 40 free throws tonight, but that's not a sustainable formula in the modern NBA. They're gonna get blown off the floor in the playoffs playing like that.
Well, Ethan, we were just talking about, we're talking about trade deadline, talking about going to the playoffs, and what this Heat team is going to do. I think we're less than 24 hours away from the trade deadline at this point. You're plugged in. What is going on? Are we looking at a Orlando Robinson standard contract and a buyout guy, like as our trade deadline moves? Or just something else?
I don't even know if there's a buyout guy, Alf. Well, look, I don't want to say they're not going to do anything because they are trying to do something. Okay, it's not they're not asleep at the switch. It's just the Kyle Lowry contract kind of sucks. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, if you're going to criticize them for something, criticize them for the moves that put them in this position. Whether it's the Kyle contract or the Duncan contract, requiring assets to be attached, particularly the Duncan contract. The Deadmon contract was signed to be traded so that you can include it in a deal. And essentially, when Spurs had the money the room available, they just did the deal so at least they wouldn't get caught not being able to convert Orlando Robinson. So I don't think they're in a great position here. I do know that they want a 4. I do know that they want a shooter. I don't think that trade today helped them. The Laker trade, that's a great trade for the Lakers. It's going to look really bad for the Heat fan base if the Heat can't get anything done after that. And also, a couple of guys I know Miami had some interest in, Vanderbilt and Beasley, were moved in that trade, and Dorian Finney-Smith was moved the other day, and that's another player that the Heat had interest in. Again, all players going to teams that are going to keep them. So this has become a little bit problematic here, and here's what I can tell you about Kyle Lowry, okay? Because this plays into it. I don't think he's going to play much more for the Heat the rest of the season, honestly, even if he's kept. Everything I'm kind of hearing is that this is crossed the threshold. That's how it was put to me. I just think, now he's got the knee. If there's a press release, and if he's not traded, and if in 2 weeks there's a press release saying that he's having a scope and is going to be out for several weeks, 6 to 8 weeks, as you guys at Miami Heat beat know, that would not stun me because that's a way to save face for everybody. And I just don't anticipate him getting a starting role back, and I don't anticipate him playing a big role for the Miami Heat going forward. That's where I'm at.
And so when the Heat front office looks at this, and what are they? I guess what is their expectation from a fan base who says you have 3 guys scoring over 20 points per game right now?
Yeah,
you're
first time in Heat history, right?
Yeah, you're at a spot in the 6th seed where you're solidly in the playoffs, and you could actually make a push for a first round playoff series. And your answer to that is to trade Dwayne Dedmon and give up an asset so that you can sign Orlando Robinson and maybe get a buyout guy. Like, do they understand?
Well, Alf,
it's like a powder keg about to blow up right now with this fan base.
Alf, a couple of them subscribe to Off the Floor, so yes, they understand. I
don't even know what that is.
That's our subscriber feed, because I know, because a couple of them want to know why Greg keeps texting that he loves them and that he hates them and he loves them and he hates them back and forth, and why these texts are going to their phone. Look, they know what the fan sentiment is, but again, they're looking at their assets or their lack of assets, and then things that become assets. Here's the simple reality. The Kyle Lowry contract is more valuable to them in the summer than it is right now in terms of trade. It just is. Like, it'll be an expiring at that point, and then you can attach it to something else. And look, if there is a big star, you can attach it to Tyler Herro. It was easier to trade at that point if that's the direction that you want to go, and you got $50-something million to go get another player. So the Lowry contract has more value then. Now, I think that the circumstances here where Kyle has fallen out of favor and has not been comfortable. And even Jimmy today, I thought this was interesting. I have heard that Jimmy's not going to stop a Kyle trade. I've been hearing that consistently because he knows he's not happy. He knows he's not happy. That's the thing. And Jimmy's gotten used to now playing with Gabe. It's not that he doesn't want to play with Kyle, but then Jimmy today had an opportunity to say, I don't want him to be traded. He said, I'd love to play with Kyle, but he said, whatever happens, happens. He's not stepped in front of that train. So I think we're at the point where it's pretty clear that even though Kyle likes Miami, from everything that I hear, he just has not really fit in with what they do here, and almost from the very beginning. And I think he gave it a shot this offseason, and then it didn't work. And here's the thing: they've kind of outgrown him. Some of it's not his fault. Tyler became a better ball handler. Bam is more of a scorer now. They don't need what they thought they needed from Kyle as much as they did at the beginning. And he's not a catch and shoot player. He's not a catch and shoot player. I mean, Gabe stepped into a catch and shoot 3 today, and I'm like, oh, that's what they want Kyle to do, and Kyle's not doing it. So, Gabe's a better defender. Alf, you and I argued about this for an hour, so I don't want to keep going through it, but essentially they've come to my side, so I won. So anyway, continue.
Yeah. Listen, I'm not gonna get into it because Bond will kill me. Gabe wasn't all that tonight, but I'll leave it alone. But listen, I'll leave it alone.
He wasn't. He got them going and finished up nicely.
I mean, when Kyle has two good quarters out of 4, everyone shits on him. That's all I'm saying.
Because of the contract, Alf, and this idea.
One's making 1.9 and one's making 28.
I know, but once you're on the court, who cares about the contract? Like,
no, it matters because it inhibits the other shit that you can
playing
do.
Basketball.
Yes,
yes,
it dictates expectations. Yes, it does. It dictates an agreed upon contract.
Who is the better? Who helps the team more? Who is the better player on the floor?
Gabe right
Gabe
now.
Vincent.
Gabe is helping them.
That is not. That is
Gabe is
objectively false. But I'll let like Tiff said, we can go to the stats. It is objectively false.
Kyle's not guarding anybody under 6'8" anymore, Alf.
Okay. So listen, I'm not. We can go to the stats. We can go to every defensive metric. Kyle Lowry has been a good defender this year. I've watched Gabe Vincent get blown by, but nobody cares because of Gabe Vincent's contract. The one thing I will ask y'all to do is if Kyle Lowry is traded and he is gone, please do not do to Gabe Vincent what y'all do to Kyle Lowry. Do not scrutinize him in the same way.
Alf, once he's making $12 million a year, we'll start doing it to Gabe Vincent.
Then yes, because it will be yes.
If he is your starting point guard, I don't care what he's making. If he is your starting point guard, he needs to be better than what he's been. Gabe has been objectively bad all season. Bad.
No,
he had 2 or 3 good games in a row. He has been objectively bad all season.
He's been up and down, Alf. He's been up and down.
He's not been flat out bad. But did you stop trying to put me in one-on-one?
1 million or 30 million.
I'm going back to
Norris up and down, objectively bad. It's going to be objectively bad. That's all I'm saying.
Bye, Ethan.
Thank you, Ethan.
Bye, Ethan.
Subscribed off the floor.
By the way, Norris dealt with this too when he became a starting point guard, as did Anthony Carter. Once you're a starting point guard, you will have to deal with it.
Oh, they got on Norris' ass?
That's what comes. That is what comes.
But they got in Norris' ass. I'm just saying, be careful what y'all wish for, because y'all might just get it. That's all.
That's it. I miss Rio. That's it. That's how I'm ending it.
I miss Duncan.
Even if that does happen, though, that is not to say that person still shouldn't be given the opportunity just because people can't keep a rational and level mindset going. And same thing with Kyle. And I genuinely, it doesn't matter. A contract agreed upon is a statement of what both parties should be able to expect out of one another. And Kyle, and that's why the scrutiny, that's why the conversation is. That's fine.
Is based on value. A contract is based on market value, and the market value for Kyle Lowry at the time was as such. And that's what you don't have.
But you don't have to. You don't. And we've seen people break market value. We've seen people sell shit for way more than it's worth. And we've seen you don't have to go with market value if you choose to, because they chose it. They had connections. It made sense for them. All they really needed was a solid, stable point guard to trigger stuff for them. Like Ethan said, that. What?
I just want to go ahead and bring the context back into it. I'm on outside. Yeah, I know viewers, surprise, I'm on outside. But here's the thing about the Kyle Lowry contract. If we remember, Dallas was pushing for him real hard. New Orleans made space for him, actually. The Heat could have lowballed him, but we got to remember also at the same time the Heat got in trouble for tampering with Kyle Lowry. The Bulls got in trouble with tampering for Lonzo Ball. That wasn't an option. There weren't a lot of solid point guards that year. Kyle Lowry was coming off of being, he was the best free agent that summer. They made the move, and with the full understanding of, he's old, he's probably not going to play on a high level this whole time. But remember, It was Kyle Lowry, it was Markieff Morris, it was PJ Tucker. They signed all people who had just won championships. So it was an all-in win-now move. And if we remember the season correctly, they were very close to winning the championship. They didn't get it done. It dragged on a little longer than it should have. Hey, whatever the case may be. But Kyle's contract, we can't really do the hindsight thing because if we're being completely honest about it, it was either him or Kendrick Nunn. So I'll go with Kyle.
And that's where I'm at on it. But, like, the contract is a contract because at the time he signed, what the Heat needed, like, we were begging. Like, everyone does this thing and we forget. We were all begging for a true point guard. And the choices at the time were Kyle Lowry, Lonzo Ball, and Spencer Dinwiddie. Does everyone remember this? Like, at the time, maybe Lonzo and Kyle Lowry were 1A, 1B. Lonzo has not been able to stay on the court the entire time.
And again, I see chat saying Lonzo Ball. The Bulls got in trouble for tampering. That deal was already done. Lonzo Ball was not an option for the Heat.
He was not an option for the Heat. Also, he ain't been able to stay on the court the entire time.
Yeah,
you don't know that injury happens. You don't know that.
I understand that, but at the same time, Kyle's been injured, and if Kyle just did not play through his injury, we could have been like, well, Kyle's been injured the whole time.
Maybe Kyle could have gotten traded to a city where he didn't love the food so much. I mean, there's a lot of factors.
I mean, the food's good.
Brass.
My whole thing with Kyle Lowry this entire time is he has not been the solution, but he has also not been the problem. Heat fans are way too hard on him.
You know what? I was thinking about
more of the solution than he has.
I agree.
Okay, but
I do agree with that. I want to say I thought about it. I was like, man, why don't so Heat fans love to shit on Kyle. He's been underperforming this year. I just think unquestionably he's been underperforming.
It's not a question. Yeah.
The cost benefit ratio is fucked with him right now. But I was thinking, like, last year when he was sort of the leader among the G League crew out there, and he was getting good minutes. Like, he was a big help to the team last year.
He was really good last year.
No, he was. But I was thinking, like, for me, what almost made that annoying, and I know a couple people here, don't be mad at me, but I feel like a lot of that was tainted because all of the pro Kyle talk was sort of kind of ruined by Raptor fans just saying, that's Kyle. That's the Kyle effect. That's our Kyle. Look, that's us. That's our guy. That's our guy. And we're like, fuck you. He's gone. Like, can we just, like, enjoy this moment? So I feel like it was kind of tainted with that too. But yeah, I don't know. It sucks. The whole situation sucks. But it wasn't. But also, Zaslow, I know we kind of, some of us were going at him harder than others. G was on some shit yesterday. We'll get to that later on Twitter. He lost. Yes.
I would like not to.
No, but he was losing his mind yesterday on Twitter. He was like yelling at Zaslow and shit, saying terrible things. But he posted a poll. It's like, I'm paraphrasing here, but have you ever wanted, like, in Heat history, have you ever wanted a player traded more at the deadline than Kyle Lowry? And I just think that's
I think
it is what it is. Like, have an opinion, but that's wild.
This shit has just gone way too
that's
far.
too much.
That's why, but especially coming from someone like Zaz, who worked alongside the team for I don't know how many years, 15 years. I mean, who knows how long he was? I mean, it just felt like forever. It's like, come on, like this. Like, I mean, how do you not go with Whiteside? I mean, there's a lot. There's plenty of players, even far before that.
Zaz is a fucking hack. All right, let's not talk about Zaz.
I don't know who he is, so
he's a fucking hack. Okay.
Yeah.
That's who.
Anyway,
Zaz
I want to point out, because this is some this just happened a few minutes ago. Jaylen Brown.
Yep.
Here's a shot. Both Tatum and Brown both going for it.
Ooh. Broke his face.
Ooh. Facial fracture.
Broke his face.
Elbow right to the chin.
Yeah. That's
take an early trip to the locker room. Just
That's gonna put him out for a little bit, it seems. So a lot of things can happen. I mean, Celtics have a nice lead, but shit happens in this league.
No, and you know what? And Brass, so getting back to what the Heat should do, and honestly, I think when I say go after OG, that inherently means like I think Kyle needs to go in an OG trade. Like, like that's like when I say get OG, I know you're losing Kyle Lowry, right?
No doubt. I think you know some of the only moves involve Kyle and specifically Toronto, because there's also Siakam who was unhappy there as well.
Maybe pull out the heartstrings and give them Kyle back.
Well,
you know what I mean?
I think there could be a little return, little sentimental kind of thing going on. But I'm with you. I just think some of these picks, I'm definitely not one to just go up, just picks. But for the first time in Heat history, you have 3 players on this team averaging over 20 points, and everyone else is shit. It's in terms of scoring. Good defensive squad, but in terms of scoring, you don't have any fucking scores, and you're like eking out. How do you have 3 players averaging 20 points a game and you're eking out wins?
20 points are not all created equal.
But your defense is strong.
But you know what it is, Tiff? The supporting cast has just been awful all season. Like we can cape for all our different guys. Like, I love Duncan.
It's not even about caping. You don't even have a consistent 5 coming off the bench.
No, I know it's been bad.
Right.
But so my thing is like you need more guys. Like you need more help. And to Brass's point about like what just happened to Jaylen Brown, we see what happened with the Brooklyn Nets. We see what's going.
Right.
Who knows what happens with Embiid?
Juggernaut Brooklyn Nets team.
Embiid can miss 30 games tomorrow. We know what. Like for the Heat to just not do anything.
But I mean, that is highly plausible. You know that, right?
I know, and I'm gonna be mad.
Okay. So I'm just saying, it's highly plausible that this is where we're gonna be.
We didn't.
Orlando Robinson.
Well, listen, we haven't seen his peak yet. All right. He's Orlando. He's great.
Pause.
But we didn't get to Ethan jumped in. I don't have anyone outside of what you guys have already talked about, OG and whatnot for trades. But I do don't get fooled on this KD shit. Please, let's not get fooled. Let's not.
You're not getting KD
not
in
put
Miami.
The fucking full stop on everything for the
third
time. The third time.
You
just don't have enough. It doesn't even matter.
I want
you
KD
look at
too.
your
no
package.
Shit. I see people saying I want. Of course, you want KD. Ideally, you want KD. But there's other teams that have. But and all it does, they're just gonna drag the fucking feet, and then nothing's gonna happen. And come on. Like, we've been down that road too many fucking times.
You know what it is? It's like when you're close. Like, remember when they felt like they were close with Bosch, and they had Luol Deng, and they had Dwayne Wade, and they had this team. They felt like they had Whiteside, and they felt like they were close. Tiff did say, "Look at your package." When you feel like you're close, you trade 2 first-rounders for Goran Dragic, right? That's what the Heat did.
Yep.
You felt like you were close, and they traded 2 first-rounders for Goran Dragic. At this point, I don't know how close the Heat feel they are, but you need to feel really good about your core. And if you feel good about your core, at some point you got to get them help. I'm not talking about undrafted help. I'm not talking about reclamation project help. I'm talking about legit NBA players. Like, we have gone from. The last time this team was in the finals, they had a few nice stories, right? There were some nice stories about undrafted guys. Mm-hmm. We're at the point 10 of their 14 players are undrafted.
Well, you just said it. If you feel really good about your core, you got to go in. Guess what? At 3:05 tomorrow, we'll know how they feel about this core. Mm-hmm. That's it. Like, there's no excuses for at least throwing everything on the table and saying, you know what? We want OG. I'm pushing in these chips. So if they don't try to make a splash, or at least we hear about, okay, we got outbid, because that's possible. But if we don't hear about the splash that we tried to make and all those things, they're telling you what they think about your core.
You know, Kenny, if tomorrow at 4:00 you find out OG Anunoby got traded for 2 first-round picks and some sorry motherfucker, like, are you gonna be fire hot? Because I will be. Like, I'll be like, yo, why didn't we take off the protections from the OKC pick? Why didn't we do whatever we had to do? Why didn't we throw in a Max Strus or a Caleb Martin along with a Kyle Lowry or a Gabe, whatever we had to do to get OG Anunoby? Like, if you find out that the Heat could have put a better package together, because it's not like the Kyrie thing. People are like, oh, the Heat couldn't have beat that Mavericks package. Yes, they could have. Mm-hmm. They could have beat the Mavericks package, but you don't know if you're going to sign Kyrie long term. Mm-hmm. So you don't beat the the Mavericks package. Mm-hmm. If there's a package that is placed in front of the Toronto Raptors that the Heat could beat and they don't do it, how are you feeling about the Heat tomorrow? And if not even just OG, if it's PJ Washington or whatever it is, a move that can make the Heat better, how are you feeling tomorrow?
So I'm glad you asked this right at this time, because I've been saying all season I'm not going to form any real opinions until the trade deadline comes. I have my opinions now, and the reality is, just looking at everything, what's available, the people that got traded, the Heat are not contending for a championship this season, no matter what. They don't have a ton of assets left. What I do want to see, and sure I would love OG, but the only thing I really want to see is I want to see a Kyle Lowry move. But there's nuance to it. It's not just he's bad, get rid of him. It's one, like Ethan said, they don't really need him anymore for what he is good at. And so just split that salary into 2 role players that better benefit and better support your star players. Somebody who can shoot, somebody who can defend. I like Caleb in starting 4, but get him a backup at least, to where if the size is not working, put somebody else in there to make up for it. But I just want to see Kyle going, one, because the fit's just not there. The circumstances where you signed him under, where you just got embarrassed in the playoffs and you didn't have a point guard, you still don't have a point guard. I'm sorry, Bond, but you don't need him as much as you did. So just find some value while teams want him. But I think regardless, my opinion that I formed recently isn't going to change. This team maybe gets to 6 games in the second round at most, regardless of what happens. There's just not enough they have to offer to really go beyond that, which I'm fine with.
Can't hear you.
Oh, sorry. Somebody keeps putting Mo Bamba in the chat.
Why?
What is the obsession with Mo Bamba?
Let me just say something based on what Kenny just said. If they go get role players, they ain't getting out of the first round. They need somebody who makes an immediate impact. What are we wasting? Why are we wasting Kyle Lowry on role players when you might as well keep him to the summer and say, all right, what star is available? Everybody get out and bring me this guy. Like, you have to have a direction. So going and grab more role players shows me you have no direction for this team.
So I understand that, but
go ahead.
My counterpoint to that is Kyle Lowry isn't getting you a star. And to be honest, and this is my guy, Tyler Herro's not getting you a star either. And so I don't think you're really in the market to be able to get a star anyway. And if a team does want Kyle, they're giving off role players because they just need somebody.
It's the combination of everybody, Kenny. It's the expiring contract if you get rid of Kyle this summer, right? That's one thing.
The package is bigger in the offseason.
Exactly. Everybody look at it. It's bigger. So you have to
want our package,
right? You have to know tomorrow by 3:00 what the hell your direction is with this team. And also, I'm sorry, and I might be the only person that think this way, but like, you got to be able to look Jimmy, who's fucking 100 years old, in the face and say, you know what? We ain't gonna be able to do it this time, big dog. Maybe this summer we might pull something off.
Exactly.
You never know.
How many times are you gonna tell?
Hold on, I got you. You let me. I got you this time. I know. As long as that last.
As long as I owe you, you'll never be broke.
Now, and see, I agree with you, Tiff. Like the idea, like people like attach a pick to get rid of Kyle. Like, what are y'all talking about? Like, thank God y'all motherfuckers ain't GMs of basketball teams. Like, you have a $30 million expiring contract this offseason. Like, do you see what Russell Westbrook's contract just fetched you? Like, Russell Westbrook and a first round pick fetched you three like good basketball players. Like, that's what an expiring contract can do. And let's say you decide in the summer to go for a whale, right? And I'm tired of the whale hunting, but whatever. And you have Kyle's expiring contract, and you have 3 available first-round picks this offseason, right?
And you might still have Duncan. And
then you have Duncan. And you listen, and the team wants a tank, take Duncan Robinson, right? But like, if you're not getting a good trade back, like, you got to save that Kyle contract till it's expiring. Do not get emotional and attach an asset to get rid of Kyle Lowry's contract.
What do y'all realistically think you're getting back for Kyle Lowry?
Is it like right now?
Period. In the summer?
Oh, I'm packaging him with
every pick.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Every pick.
Okay.
A couple good young, Caleb Martin and Kyle Lowry, 3 first-round picks to get the guy you need. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I would do that right now, right? Like, if OG Anunoby's available,
I do it right now.
It takes Kyle Lowry and 3 first-round picks. I'm doing it. But my thing is, I'm not doing what Kenny said. No, I'm not trading Kyle Lowry and a first to get 2 names, 2 guys. Like, I'm not doing that. Like, I would rather I'll keep Kyle. We'll address this in the offseason. And I think that's what my whole take when it comes to Duncan Robinson and Max Strus. I think Max Strus is the better basketball player. I would rather keep Max Strus long term. But what I don't want to do is attach an asset to get rid of Duncan's contract just so I can keep Max Strus. I don't think Max Strus is that much better than Duncan to use an asset to get rid of him. Like, I think that's a bad move because, and here's the problem. If you do not get rid of Max Strus by tomorrow's deadline, you go into the summer and you are going to lose him for nothing because Spo says he's not going to play both of them. So you're not going to pay both of them, right? So now Max Strus is gone for absolutely nothing because they're not paying Max while they still have Duncan's $90 million on the books. Like, so at some point, like, you got to stop using assets to get rid of sunken costs. Like, what they did for Deadmon is a bad move. Yeah. And they can't keep doing that shit because at some point, it's just going to keep biting you in the ass.
This is why people talk about contracts.
But after the contract is signed, like...
there's no real, like...
So we keep talking like everything is hindsight. Everything ain't all, like... It don't,
but lamenting contracts when guys are playing on the court, at that point, like, what does that do for you? You know what I mean?
Sure, and that's fine. But, like, if people want to feel like they have some shit to gripe and argue about, like, that's on them to feel.
It's going to be a damn shame when me and Max somewhere else.
Girl, listen. You saw that white frosted coated jersey hanging in the LA locker room? Me and Gabe going to the sun, okay?
Let me tell you, when Duncan Robinson in Utah, wait till Hangover Time from Salt Lake City, boy.
Oh my gosh.
The bars close at 8. That
my black ass gonna be in our house at 5.
Right? Because that shit is a sundown.
Listen.
I said it on Black History Month. I said it.
Speaking of black ass.
Sundown, sun gone. No sun.
There you go, Brass.
I'm out here drinking toilet wine in Salt Lake City. Black History Month. Let's get to our segment that we all love and enjoy, where we learn a little bit about Black history and have a couple laughs every now and then. It's time for Black in Time.
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed.
Looking Black in Time.
Madam C.J. Walker, born Sarah Breedlove on December 23, 1867, was an African-American entrepreneur, philanthropist, and political and social activist. She's recorded as the first female self-made millionaire in America. Walker made her fortune by developing and marketing a line of cosmetics and hair care products for black women. Walker used some of her wealth by meeting with the leaders of the NAACP to help fund campaigns and provide scholarships to promising African American students. Her legacy lives on in a 2020 Netflix series about her life starring Octavia Spencer and in the booming black hair care industry that has created so many creative brands, hairdos, and whatever the hell Jimmy Butler is doing. Seriously, what the hell is Jimmy Butler doing?
This was another edition of Looking Black in Time.
I'm mad at
bitch Viola Davis. Viola and them fucking eyebrows, man. He did not have to.
That was Octavia Spencer.
Octavia, I know. No, hold on.
I'm mad as fuck at Brass for that picture of Julius Randle.
I didn't take his photo. That's his fucking face.
Do we still play these things twice?
We can.
Do we still play these things?
Look at Julius, please. Go ahead.
Play again.
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed.
Looking Black in Time.
Madam C.J. Walker, born Sarah Breedlove on December 23, 1867, was an African-American entrepreneur, philanthropist, and political and social activist. She's recorded as the first female self-made millionaire in America. Walker made her fortune by developing and marketing a line of cosmetics and hair care products for black women. Walker used some of her wealth by meeting with the leaders of the NAACP to help fund campaigns and provide scholarships to promising African American students. Her legacy lives on in a 2020 Netflix series about her life starring Octavia Spencer and in the booming black hair care industry that has created so many creative brands, hairdos, and whatever the hell Jimmy Butler is doing. Seriously, what the hell is Jimmy Butler doing?
This was another edition of Looking Black in Time.
Alf, yo,
I didn't see
your
Pop.
black ass. Your black ass is canceled. That is definitely Viola Davis. Why do you keep calling her Octavia Spencer?
Alf, you canceled.
That is Viola. I'm like, what the?
I don't make the videos.
Alf,
It was your idea.
Blame the white man.
And to be fair, that was Viola Davis as Michelle Obama.
Right.
Yes, I know that. You don't have to tell me that. He keep calling her Octavia Spencer. He's gonna. That's not happening. Okay.
I see the help.
That's not that woman. Exactly. Y'all are the worst. Them fucking eyebrows. Why would she ever draw them that thin? No CRT for you.
Was canceled by DeSantis. I feel so bad. Like I love you
CRT
podcast
for you.
listeners, but you got to watch the show.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you guys, keep tuning in February. These motherfuckers are gonna get progressively worse. Like after the last, I don't know.
Giving Progressive a very bad name.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Yes.
The last one, I don't know. After this last one, I don't know if I'm gonna come back.
Octavia,
I might not be able to.
Confusing
Someone's
black
already
women.
clipped
That
it
is
and
a
put.
shame.
Eric the Great has already clipped it and put it on.
It's already
Eric.
rolling.
Shit.
It's already rolling.
Eric.
You know,
Cancel
let's
his
get
ass.
away from that. Because apparently Brass thinks they all look alike.
No. Listen, you tell me
Brass,
what
say
to
Nick
do,
about
and
this.
I do it. Okay? Like
Oh,
I just don't like. Come on.
All right, let's go around the NBA in our segment we like to call "What They Doing Over There." Oh shit! What they doing over there? All right,
It
so a
was
lot happened in
definitely
the NBA.
Candace Parker in the car.
Mhm.
Why the hell did you put Candace Parker in that damn car? Was the front person, was that Brittany Griner? Was that BG? And I gotta go back.
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Maybe.
We do not do anything to these pictures.
Whatever.
Yeah.
That hat fit Dedmon so well. Dedmon did this so.
Julius Randle is just old as shit.
Yo. He looked perpetually scared.
All right, let's get to
I ain't going nowhere, boss. I'm just hanging out right
he
here.
left his freedom papers at home.
Yeah, he did.
I left them
It's in my other jacket.
It's in my other pants. God damn. Here go Dylan Brooks.
What is with all the fights this last week, man?
I love it.
Dylan Brooks
active,
is an
boys.
asshole.
Playoff time.
It's nice to see opposing teams fight each other, at least.
Look at Dylan.
Just, look at that. Come on, man. That was so blatant. Just a nut shot.
Checking out his package.
Listen to this call, though. This is so good.
Look at the package.
Boink.
You need to put that for Horny
Boink.
Kenny.
Here go Orlando's own Austin Rivers.
You're stupid.
Orlando, Austin really was like Disney World gang. Like, he's like, yo, they know me in Orlando. Nigga, they know Mickey Mouse in
Mickey
Orlando.
Mouse Club, bitch. You heard it. Mickey Mouse Club. You know.
I didn't even know Austin was still in the league.
Throw them M's up.
Oh, there's Julius.
There's Julius.
He too old trying to contest that.
Oof.
Got that Frederick Douglass fro.
Motherfucker writing almanacs.
Right. He writing the Dead Sea Scrolls.
Look at him. He looking at his hands like, what happened?
They used to be big, strong hands.
Got that 16, 19 hair.
Yeah, he do.
First landed.
Oh, I love this shot. Like, fuck it. Whatever.
Fuck you.
Right.
I play for the Blazers.
Let
We
me do
ain't
the
winning shit. Who
The only
cares?
thing that I do to get me on that top 75 list.
I love seeing that down 12 or whatever it was.
And here's your boy. Yeah, exactly. Here's your boy. Let me tell you something.
Yeah. Show out, Brian. Go get it.
The fact that he did this on Kenrich Williams, like for the rest of eternity, that shitty ass haircut is going to be like, and they're going to replay that play for the like.
Fuck, man. Thank you, guys. Fuck, man. Fuck, man.
He really talking about the team. Fuck, man.
But, yo,
Did you see ADO hating ass? Oh,
Yo.
Yeah, I tried to pull that
video,
clip and it got
man.
deleted.
Oh,
so
that
if y'all don't know, there's
Sam
a video
Jackson.
of the entire Laker bench getting up, cheering, excited about Bron, breaking one of the greatest records of all time.
Oh,
Anthony
bitch
Davis'
ass
big
Anthony.
ass and his eyebrow just takes a seat. Like, no
On
cheering,
the back
no
of the
nothing.
stanchion. No,
Right,
no.
just mad.
Just
Y'all
angry.
had to nerve to ask who was Dwayne Wade's greatest teammate. I
Yeah, ain't that
remember when
motherfucker.
that tweet came up. Look at where the hell Kyrie Irving is today. Look at where the fuck Anthony Davis is today. Y'all had the audacity to ask on Beyonce's internet, who the hell is LeBron? You know what? And I felt one kind of moving in my spirit. I just, I maybe I owe Gianni a piece of an apology. Like,
Ooh.
follow me, right? Like, it's so absurd. And you guys talk about it all the time. And I'm a person that I need to see the things happen for myself. It's wild. Like, what's the word? You can't like skip over it anymore. Like the Miami erasure from that man's career is fucking nuts. How can you sit in front of a computer and pull clips of a LeBron James accomplishment package and just skip 4 years of his biggest and first and most important accomplishments? Like, that is the most intentional shit I've ever seen in my life. I'm not gonna let y'all erase Dwayne Wade and that man's legacy. That nigga is not who he is without Dwayne. He's not who he is without Miami. It is absurd. You could have, all you saw is just him with the trophy, not the 6 on, not nothing. Like, Nike got to do better. If that's him and Rich and Clutch and them still holding on to all that petty bullshit, you got to let that go. Grow up. Like, talk about it. He handled the decision poorly. He left poorly. Talk about that shit. Like, he ain't have just this old perfect, wonderful, sparkly, pearly ass career. Like, it's really, really nuts. I'm happy for him. But like, media, corporations, people, a lot of people got to do better. And it's really, really, it's so blatant. It's so, that Nike, you can take me out. That Nike ad was so blatant. You had a person sitting. How do you, like, you have to actively skip over. So like, it's wild.
Yeah, they did it on purpose. I did some math. So LeBron is sitting at, now that he's the scoring leader at 38,390 points. So those 4 years that he was in Miami, he scored 7,919 points. So if we're being real, he has only scored, if you're going to erase Miami, he has only scored 30,471, which puts him that would put him in 8th place after Shaq, but he's still trailing Wilt Chamberlain.
That's where we're going to keep him at.
That's it.
Until
That's
y'all
where he
start
is in my mind.
acknowledging them 4 years, that's where he's at.
That's where he's at.
So it is written, so it's fucking done.
And shout out to JJ Barea for that Instagram post.
That was an excellent. If you have not seen it, JJ Barea posted on Instagram, LeBron trying to post him up. Which ended in
talking about
turnover.
Lived up to all the hype. I got a 3-game stretch of unlived hype that cost niggas a lot.
Right?
That cost Dwayne Wade a fucking
please. The worst friend of the banana boat. Cut it out.
And now at least Dwayne was out there getting neck rubs from Jeannie Buss.
Right, get off that black man. You better stop touching on him.
Yeah, I mean, say shit.
We don't know that.
You never mind. Keep going. Is that all they're doing over there?
That's what Jeannie doing over there.
You know what? I got a stat, Brass.
What's that?
I got a stat.
Oh, do you want?
Oh yeah, I want the imaging.
Oh, you want the whole?
No, like I thought.
This is a highly produced professional show.
Shit, fine, okay.
Okay, so per Barstool Sports,
all right,
Ben Simmons is just 33,734 points away from breaking LeBron's record.
I believe in him.
Wow.
Yeah. It's only 33,734 points from breaking LeBron's record. So
get it done, Ben.
Listen, put that on your calendars. Motherfuckers gonna break that shit in 2068.